You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. What happens when a former world number one questions the future of America's biggest tennis star? One comment. One prediction. And suddenly, fans are furious. Tonight, the tennis world is divided. As Coco Gauff supporters slam Rennae Stubbs for what they're calling a weird and disrespectful take as this honest analysis. Or has the criticism gone too far? Let's break it down. Coco Gauff is no stranger to criticism. From the moment she burst onto the global stage as a 15-year-old defeating Venus Williams, expectations have followed her everywhere. Every forehand, every loss, every win, analyzed, replayed, debated. But this time, the controversy isn't about a missed shot or a tough draw, it's about words. And those words came from a familiar name in tennis circles, Rennae Stubbs. The former world number one doubles player and respected tennis commentator recently sparked intense backlash after sharing her thoughts on Coco Gauff's Grand Slam future. What followed was an explosion of fan reaction across social media. Raw, emotional, and deeply divided. Some fans didn't just disagree. They were angry. One viral comment summed up the mood perfectly: "This woman really hates Coco Gauff." That line quickly spread across tennis forums, X, Instagram, and YouTube comment sections, igniting a debate that now shows no signs of slowing down. Oh, what exactly did Rennae Stubbs say? And why did it strike such a nerve with Coco Gauff supporters? To understand the backlash, you first need to understand the expectations surrounding Coco Gauff, just 20 years old. Coco has already achieved what many players never will. She is a Grand Slam champion, a consistent top 3 player, and one of the most marketable athletes in American sports. With that success comes comparisons. Fans, media, and analysts have long speculated whether Coco could reach the elite tier of all-time greats, names like Serena Williams, Steffi Graf, and Chris Evert. It's a conversation loaded with pressure. During a recent discussion, Rennae Stubbs addressed that very topic, questioning whether Coco Gauff could realistically reach a historically massive slam total. Stubbs reportedly suggested that for Coco to be in that all-time conversation, she would need to win multiple Grand Slams per year for a decade, a standard few players in history have ever achieved. From a purely analytical perspective, some saw the comment as factual. But fans heard something else. To many, it sounded dismissive, unfair, and oddly targeted. Within hours, social media lit up. Why is she always moving the goalposts for Coco? Why don't male players get this same pressure? This feels personal at this point. The criticism wasn't just about what was said, but how often fans feel similar skepticism is directed at Coco Gauff. Supporters argue that Coco's achievements are constantly minimized, while her flaws are magnified. And that's where emotions boiled over. In fan spaces, Rennae Stubbs' comments were labeled weird, unnecessary, and out of touch. Some fans went further, accusing Stubbs of holding Coco to impossible standards, standards not applied to other players at the same stage of their careers. One fan wrote, "Coco is 20 years old and already has more success than most players dream of. Why is she being judged like she's already 35? Another added, "If Coco were from another country, people would be calling her a generational legend already." The frustration didn't come out of nowhere. For years, Coco Gauff has carried the weight of American tennis expectations, often compared to Serena Williams before she was even old enough to vote. Every loss sparks concern. Every win is followed by, "But what about the next slam?" And fans feel Rennae Stubbs' comments fed into that exhausting cycle. However, not everyone agrees. Some tennis analysts and fans defended Stubbs, arguing that her comments were taken out of context. They say she wasn't attacking Coco, she was simply explaining how difficult it is to reach the highest historical tier in tennis. They argue that honesty shouldn't be mistaken for hate. Not every tough opinion is personal. One commenter wrote, "This is just reality in elite sports." That defense, however, didn't calm the storm. Because for many Coco Gauff supporters, this isn't about one comment, it's about a pattern. Fans began pulling up past clips, interviews, and discussions, pointing out moments where they felt Stubbs consistently downplayed Coco's achievements or highlighted her weaknesses more than her strengths. Whether fair or not, perception matters, and in the court of public opinion, the perception turned sharply negative. The phrase, "This woman really hates Coco Gauff," became a rallying cry, repeated across platforms as fans expressed their frustration. What makes this situation especially sensitive is Coco Gauff's age, just 20, she's still developing her game. Tennis history is full of late bloomers, players who won their biggest titles in their mid to late 20s. Yet Coco is already being judged against impossible benchmarks. Fans argue that instead of celebrating her growth, too many voices focus on what she hasn't done yet. And that's where Rennae Stubbs became a lightning rod to Coco supporters. The comments felt less like analysis, and more like discouragement. But here's the other side of the story. Rennae Stubbs has spent decades in tennis. She's coached. She's competed. She's analyzed the sport at the highest level. From her perspective, setting high standards isn't hate, it's realism. The problem? Fans don't want realism when it feels like it dismisses greatness in progress. They want acknowledgement. They want balance. They want respect. And many felt that balance was missing. Meanwhile, Coco Gauff herself has remained silent, as she often does in moments of controversy. She hasn't responded publicly. She hasn't posted cryptic messages. She hasn't engaged in the debate. Instead, she's been doing what she always does, working, training, and preparing for the next challenge. That silence speaks volumes. Coco has repeatedly shown maturity beyond her years, choosing not to be dragged into media storms. But her fans, they're not staying quiet. Across the United States, Coco Gauff represents hope for American tennis. Especially for young players who see themselves in her journey, she's not just a tennis star, she's a symbol. And when fans feel that symbol is being unfairly criticized, they react fiercely. The debate has also sparked broader conversations about how female athletes are analyzed. Why are young women expected to dominate immediately? Why are their careers projected so far ahead? Why is patience rarely afforded? These questions are now part of the conversation, thanks to the backlash. In many ways, this controversy highlights the pressure cooker environment of modern sports media. Every comment is dissected. Every opinion becomes a headline. And nuance is often lost. Was Rennae Stubbs offering tough love analysis? Or did her words come across colder than intended? The answer likely depends on who you ask. What's undeniable is this: Coco Gauff has already exceeded expectations. And she's still writing her story. Fans believe that instead of measuring her against history's most extreme outliers, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.